line of David Duenas with Leave It in the Ring.
You know, it looks like you're taking the old traditional way of the fighter, which is get in with anybody that steps up to the plate. Is that something that you're happy with? The last couple of fights you've had have been tough fights. It's always been some type of pickup fights, and it seems like you're not really kind of getting off that road. You're staying on that road of being very competitive.
Well, yeah, I just want to fight the best fighters in the world. That's pretty much it. I told my promoters over and over, I just want to fight the best fighters in the world. Would I ever get a chance to fight Manny Pacquiao? Probably not. After watching, I'm gonna get off subject a little bit, but after watching him fight Cotto and seeing the magnitude that he's on, and where he's at, I was like, dude, I'll never get this guy. This guy is a super fighter. He's fighting for multi-millions of dollars. There's no way, just because I'm making a little noise, that he's going to be willing to fight me. There's absolutely no way. I'm like, I'm never going to get that guy. I'll probably never ever get Floyd Mayweather because he's a super mega fighter. So, but anyways, I just want to fight the best fighters in the world. Step aside, would I ever get Pacquiao or Mayweather? Anybody else that's in my weight class that's considered the best, one of the best fighters, that's who I want to face. World champions, former world champions, whoever.
I have one more question before I let you go, and it's for Gary Shaw. You mentioned Amir Khan and you mentioned Juan Manuel Marquez. In all honesty, do their promoters seem a bit interested in facing Timothy Bradley, who seems to be the best 140 champion out there right now?
Yeah, I think Hatton would be more inclined to avoid Timmy, but I did have a call between Showtime, Frank Warren, and myself about a mega fight with Amir Khan with Timothy Bradley, a unification of belts, and I think that fight is very possible. I don't ever rule out Pacquiao. I don't ever rule out Floyd Mayweather. If those fights come, you can't force fights like that. Timmy's 100% correct. Those are fights that have to come to us. We're not in a position to force those fights. But, we'll fight Marquez. He's going to need a dance partner. Juan Diaz is going to need a dance partner. Paulie Malignaggi at 140 is going to need a dance partner. That's the way this game goes. So we need to win December 12th. If we don't win December 12th, it's just talking shit.
That's all it is.
Absolutely, brothers. Thank you, man. A lot of the times when somebody is considered the new kid on the block, and that's pretty much what people are looking at you right now, and they get a shot at the title, they normally wouldn't get a shot at the title with such a dangerous and qualified champion. Does that make the stakes for you a little bit more juicier to get in the ring with? Because knowing that you're not taking a champion that's not relatively known, you're taking a champion that a lot of people consider the best at 140 right now.
It's okay with me. I wouldn't have it no other way. Yeah, I understand what you're saying. Well, a lot of fighters, when they get their first world title, they kind of fight an older guy or, somebody that they can beat, that they know for sure, they can beat. But, with me, it's about fighting the best, no matter, what the circumstances is. If the fight come up, you take it. It's also a good thing for me because it's not like I have to go through the other guys. I'm fighting the number one 140-pounder. Many people look at Timothy as the number one 140-pounder. So, if I can jump over all the others and beat him, then that's good for me.
Welcome to another edition of the Will Be Blood Fight Show. I'm your host, Dave Duenas. What's going on, brothers? Well, it's freezing cold. Hopefully everybody's keeping warm wherever they're at. I know I'm trying to keep warm. I got the heater, going and stuff. All right, let's get right down into it. Got Timothy Bradley versus Lamont Peterson this Saturday at Agua Caliente on Showtime. You know what? This is a great matchup. I know a lot of people may be thinking that Lamont Peterson may be a little over his head on this bout here, but I think in all reality, this is going to be Bradley's toughest fight. Being in terms and style-wise, not as being that he's facing a puncher. Being that Lamont Peterson is more of a guy that likes to shoulder roll, box, really is never there to be hit. Somebody that has good footwork, good hand speed, and a really intelligent person when it comes to being in the ring. Knows how to carry that ring generalship. Even though last time when we saw him, Lamont Peterson, he was standing and trading, and I think it was purely because he wanted to show he can be exciting, and that, his younger brother, Anthony, having all the limelight about being the puncher. More people are kind of just grabbing onto his younger brother, where Lamont was like, okay, you know what, it's my time to shine. And really, I think that's why the fight with Timothy Bradley was given to him, because he was able to show a different side of his personality, which is, you know, stand and trade and be a little dangerous in the bout. But coming down with Timothy Bradley right now, you know, Bradley having his outing with Nate Campbell and Kendall Hall, Jr. Witter, you got to say the ledger of fighters that are on Timothy Bradley's roster is a lot more thicker and a lot more convincing for a hardcore fight fan to look at and go home. I think this is going to be an easy fight for Bradley. And that can be deceiving at some times because, like I said, styles make fights. And, you know, where Holt and Nate Campbell were there to be hit. They were the stalkers. Where the tables are really going to be turned around on Timothy Bradley in this fight. Even though Timothy Bradley is an aggressive fighter, you know, he's got a lot of amateur moves and stuff, but he's been able to get away with a lot of the stuff that he does in the ring because his target's right there. It's stationary. It's right in front of him. Where Lamont's not going to do that. And like I mentioned before, Lamont was standing and training in his last bout, but I don't think he's going to be foolish enough to want to do that with Timothy Bradley. Seeing that this is his first world championship fight and going against one of the best 140 fighters right now, you know, in the weight division, that's not a mistake that he's going to want to be able to push out there and lose against. Because the fact of the matter is that he is a boxer. He's a pure boxer. And that's what he should stick to in his traits of what has gained him all these victories and kept him undefeated. You know, so what does Peterson got to do? Just be Peterson. He's got to use his footwork. He's got to use his jab. He's got to throw combinations, but not be there long enough to allow Timothy Bradley to shoe shine or dig deep to that body, because that's Timothy's little style there. He likes to jab to that stomach, throw a right hand to the stomach. He likes to make sure that he roughs you up, you know. And when you get in close, you got to remember, Timothy Bradley's got to remember this. I'm sorry, not Timothy. Lamont Peterson's got to remember this. When Timothy Bradley closes that distance, he's got to hold him, or he's got a hard pivot and get out of there, but punch going backwards. Reason being is because Timothy Bradley will shoe shine you. Timothy Bradley will stack up those points. Timothy Bradley will try to wear you down, where, you know, so he can be successful and be the victorious person out of this fight. Now, in all honesty, in my opinion, this is a pick 'em fight. It's a real big time pick a fight in my opinion, because the fact is, like I said, the fighters that we've seen Timothy be successful over are guys really honestly that don't have the greatest footwork in the world. They're bangers, guys that come forward, guys that are going to be there to get hit, guys that are going to get hit so they can get in their punch. Where Lamont's completely opposite of that. This guy doesn't like to get hit because he understands the sweet science of hit and don't get hit. You know, so he's going to try to really stick to his game plan. And seeing that this guy comes from a very good foundation, strong foundation from Barry Hunter, and with his brother coming up, being homeless and now become world-class fighters, you gotta sit there and think, okay, is this kid weak-minded enough to fall apart and not stick to his game plan? And I'm going to say no. I'm going to say he's going to stick to his game plan. It's going to be up to Timothy Bradley to adjust to Lamont Peterson's style. It's going to be up to Timothy Bradley to cut the ring, to be the aggressor, to be the Nate Campbell, to be the Kendall Hall in this fight, and be able to beat Timothy Bradley at the same time. There's going to have to be 1, 2, 3 game plans facing Lamont Peterson, because Lamont's just got that style where he can make you look that terrible. Okay, so what is my pick? Well, being that Timothy Bradley right now is at an ultra high, I'm going to have to say, I'm going to go again, man, with another split decision. I think, you know, since we've been so lucky enough of having judges that are not able to call fights correctly, I'm going to say that we're going to have another judge giving us another outrageous scorecard, and it's going to lean to the hometown favorite, Timothy Bradley. I think Timothy Bradley's going to take it by a point or 2. I think it's going to be razor thin again. I think that no matter what Lamont Peterson does, it's going to be hard for him. For one, he's got to come and beat the champion, and his style is not that type of way to be the champion. Even though, you know, it can be convincing where you see Paulo Malignaggi clearly outboxing Diaz, you know, with that type of a style, which is hit and run back and hit. The Lamont style is not going to be really intriguing going to SoCal, where the judges are going to sway and say, wow, this kid's got something special, when Timothy Bradley's more the aggressor. So I'll go with Timothy Bradley on this one. I'm your host, Dave Duenas. This was another edition of the Will Be Blood Fight Show. Oh, also, we do have our Leave It in the Ring website up now, so if you want to check that out. Log on to leaveitinthering.com, and then you can check out old archives of